Why is addressing climate change so difficult? There are lots of reasons why addressing climate change is difficult, but we can grossly oversimplify the situation and look at one of the critical problems with addressing climate change. It's not always in people's best economic interest to do so. We can look at this problem as a form of the prisoner's dilemma. There are many countries that would benefit economically and socially by, instead of addressing climate change, continuing or starting to pollute. Take two countries, the United States and China, as an example. We can make the decision matrix for the prisoner's dilemma and see that if both countries decide not to pollute, then they are on a level economic ground and are also able to preserve the environment. However, if only one of the countries polluted, then the country that pollutes will have an economic advantage over the country that does not. This happens because the country that doesn't pollute will have to spend heavily to completely redesign their energy infrastructure, while the country that does pollute won't have to, and they can use their more efficient energy systems already available. And having an economic advantage over another country means everything in international politics and gives a massive advantage to the polluter. But if both countries continue to pollute, then they'll be on a level economic ground again, this time just with a shorter life expectancy for the Earth. But for both the United States and China in this example, no matter what the other country does, polluting either gives an economic advantage or staves off an economic disadvantage. This is always beneficial to pollute for the country individually. That's the dilemma. This makes polluting the dominant strategy for both countries, and both countries polluting the dominant strategy equilibrium. And this is a big problem because this means that every pair of countries in the world can do this simple calculation and find that every country is in a better economic state if they pollute. This decision to act on climate change is essentially our example of the prisoner's dilemma, but on a global scale between each and every country. However, the prisoner's dilemma is contingent on the prisoners not being able to punish each other after the experiment, and in the real world we don't have this constraint. So we can just impose penalties on countries that don't try to address climate change, right? Well, there's a problem. Trying to hold countries accountable for their actions isn't always easy and might often lead to war, be it an economic war or a physical war. And wars aren't good for anyone involved, so it's really hard for the international community to properly punish belligerent countries. And now, since we can't artificially change the decision matrix in the way we would like to, we're back to the prisoner's dilemma. Additionally, it can be difficult to convince individuals that they shouldn't pollute because, in a scenario very similar to the prisoner's dilemma with the US and China, individuals could put at an economic disadvantage by not, say, driving to work. However, governments can levy taxes to make the decision matrix for individuals change so that the prisoner's dilemma can be avoided at an individual level if the governments can get on board. But this won't happen at the international level because of the aforementioned possibility of war. So here we are. A world where addressing climate change is necessary for everyone, but where it isn't a good idea for anyone individually. Thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed our video.